Hey everyone, of course this is Shot Redux, and I'm actually going to be going over the Battlefield 4 premiere at E3, mostly the multiplayer aspect, and just giving you my thoughts and ideas of what I'm hoping to expect out of the game, as well as some few things that I noticed in the trailer, and just give my viewpoints on it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Of course, in the trailer we see that it's labeled the map as Siege of Shanghai, which is assumed as a multiplayer map for Battlefield 4. And it does look pretty amazing. It's probably the first like full-fledged city map that I've pretty much seen in any Battlefield game using the Frostbite engine, of course. One of the other things I thought was really cool is to see that the commander system seems to be hinted in this game. That you know, that was in Battlefield 2 a while back, where essentially one person on your team, or each team, assumed the role of a commander to be able to do things like offer you supply drops, vehicle drops, and surveillance scans and things like that of the sort. So I'm really happy to see that make it back into the Battlefield series, which is a really nice feature that I've always loved and felt like I was missing throughout all the Battlefield games that I've played since Battlefield 2 and 2142. I absolutely love the amount of detail that's gone into a lot of these textures for this game, not for the sake of it being more realistic, but for the sake of it being more dynamic in the way everything goes throughout battle. Like when your bullets actually hit the corner of a wall, the wall chips away. Or when you're actually hitting a certain structure, you know, things crumble, which is actually pretty amazing. Like, it looks a lot better and seems to be more apparent. One of the things I think this multiplayer video at E3 decided to drive home was the fact that there's multiple layers of the level. Essentially, you have your underground you know, entrances to certain buildings, then you have your basic level where you're just out in the middle of the street and fighting, and you also have the ability to go through and, you know, enter buildings, which is a nice feature. I mean, it's multi-layered for a level, which is nice. One of the big things I was actually impressed to finally see make it in a Battlefield game is a little bit more focused combat on the naval side of things, which was a very impressive thing for me to see. You know, the only thing that came close to having some sort of naval combat was essentially when 1942 first came out, and there wasn't much they were working with there. So to finally see this come out into play and to be you know, showcased was very impressive, and I liked seeing the results. One of the things I hope that they build upon in Battlefield 4 is the fact that they don't stay very linear with the naval battles, and make it to where there are a variety of ships that you can control with different abilities. You know, instead of there just being battleships, like there'll actually be another ship that's got, you know, land rockets that they can fire to assault land vehicles as well. So it'll be nice to see that. So far, I'm pretty impressed by what I see. It looks like a good majority, if not all, of the structures in Battlefield 4 seem to be pretty much destructible, which is good. It gives you that sense of, you know, try not to get spotted or else your cover can be diminished quickly, which is a good thing. It kind of prevents camping a little bit. This part in the elevator I thought was a bit interesting. I'm just kind of curious how that works, if it's just like you hit the button on the elevator and it takes you to the highest floor possible, or what. But it would be cool to see the buildings have multi-layers and being able to select a different tier of the building, I guess, to assault from. But if not, that's fine. I mean, it's close enough. I can accept it. I love the showcase that they did here, showing that inside the building is even war-torn, and you know, things can get hectic. Just shows the high level of detail, once again, how things work and operate. Of course, I like the showcase here coming up with the use of the commander system just a little bit. I thought it was really interesting to see that he was using a tablet to actually focus, you know, attack on a certain group of enemies and picking what he wanted to use to assault them. So I thought that was really interesting to see this function on a tablet itself. Of course, the cool thing on the tablet, you've seen all the classic commander abilities, it looks like, so I'm looking forward to that, especially that new one right there, like I said. The other extremely impressive, and probably the most impressive thing that I'm excited about in Battlefield 4 that I thought was long overdue for a Battlefield game, is the destruction of full, you know, scale buildings. And they even did it up a notch where, you know, you can actually fight on top of the building while it's crashing down. That's absolutely amazing to me. You know, it adds great dynamic characteristics to the game, and you know, that's a very, very awesome thing. So I commend DICE on that for making that happen. It really made me excited to see that. The other thing that I thought was pretty interesting is if you look at the bottom left, you'll see essentially a 5-man squad, but I don't know if that's because he is in the commander position and he gets to see that, or if you actually get 5-man squads now in the game. If so, that's actually pretty cool. The last thing I want to mention is that I noticed that you can counteract knife attacks now, so if somebody's trying to assassinate you or knife you from the front, you can actually counteract it, which is pretty cool, like right here. So that's pretty much all I got about the preview trailer and my thoughts on it. So I would like to hear some of your guys' thoughts, so leave them in the comments below and maybe I'll chime in from time to time. And I'll see you guys next time.